Do, 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 do. Hey, everybody, what's up? Come on in, come on in, come on in. We have some very interesting things to talk about today concerning Becky and Kemet. Becky, Becky and Kemet. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. We have some very interesting things today to talk about concerning Becky and Kemet. And I'll explain. If you don't know who Becky is, we will definitely explain. But again, like, share, and subscribe so we can talk about ancient Egypt or Kemet and Becky. hmm Like, share, and subscribe. And Brother Salik Quran, if you're in here, I want you to sit down and get you some popcorn and learn. Cause like I'm just telling you, man, we going back and forth on each other in text and personally and all this stuff now. But you still believe in this foolishness, Sonetta? You still believe in this. You're a grown man. You're a grown Negroid. And you still believe in this trash, Sonetta? Hey, Miss Beverly. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back to talk to the brother Salik Quran, aka Sonetta, aka you too old to be out here believing in cartoons. You too old to be out here promoting homosexuality. You're too old to be making a fool of yourself in public, speaking against the things that are right for black people and coddling homosexuality. What's happening, Brother James? We got some very interesting things to talk about, man. We got something very interesting to talk about. And I'm telling y'all, don't let your kids listen to this stuff, y'all. Don't let your kids listen to this one. Cause I'm gonna have to be a little bit vulgar to talk about this stuff. Peace to Brother Obadiah. Peace to you, family. Yeah, make sure we like, share, and subscribe. And like I said, don't let the kids listen to this. Yeah, Kemet is rated triple X, quadruple X, family, off the Richter scale X. So don't let the kids listen to this one, because there's no way that I could do the stream without being a little bit vulgar. If I'm talking about vulgar pornography and sexual perversion, for you to actually get it, for you to actually get it and understand the depth of the depravity, I have to say it the way it is. Now, y'all, that's Presbyterians and Lutherans and Mormons and Catholics, y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me. Y'all, my Christian brothers and my Israelite brothers, y'all, listen, forgive me in my folly for a minute. Forgive me in my folly for just a minute. But I've got to speak candidly. I must. Now, I've been bringing to y'all all of this stuff. And now, don't get mad, Kemet. Do not get mad. Thank you, Brother James. Brother James says, some things can only be expressed in proper context. Vulgarity, vulgar topic, drive home the point. Some things can only be expressed with the equal amount of vulgarity that you're describing. That's facts, Brother James. Now, let's just dive right into it. I want to give you a name and I want to give you a verification so that you can go and source these things out, or even just go watch a video and, go do some research on what you see. I posted a video to today, I think it was this morning, called Cocaine and Nicotine Mummies. That's what I titled it. Cocaine and Nicotine Mummies. Now, listen to me. The white man taught us in this country that him and his age brought about cocaine, not crack, but cocaine. And also, they told us that nicotine use or the use of tobacco was first done in our sort of modern times. We won't go into the exact individual cultures that propagated the world's first usage of cocaine. We won't go into the world's propagating of its known first usages of nicotine, the common knowledge of it, what they taught us in school, where it came from, what we learned previously. No, 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 no. I want to take you way back to 3100 BC and even before, but that ancient time is what we're talking about. Now, if we're talking about 3100 BC, before that or after that, we shouldn't be talking about tobacco use as relates to what we've known, what we've been taught. Talking about at 3100, cocaine use, powdered cocaine, Becky, that white girl, or use at 3100 BCE, before and after as relates to Kemet becoming a kingdom. You know, what we learned from the book called Civilizations Before Rome and Greece. And that book says that at 3100 BC, the Egyptians were first coalescing into local groups that can be called kingdoms. That's when they started really building Kemet as a kingdom. Before that, you will find virtually nothing. Marshlands and swamps and people passing through and nomads. But 3100 BC should not be a time where people are snorting cocaine and smoking cigarettes or pipe tobacco as relates to what we know. But truth and history and those very dead bodies in Kemet have yielded some very, very, very sick anomalies. Now keep this name in your mind. Henutawi. Henutawy. Henutawi. That name is connected to a woman who died in ancient Kemet. There is a papyrus called the Papyrus of Henutawi. Before I talk about the cocaine and the tobacco, I want to point out clearly to you the psychosis that I've been pointing out for years concerning the Papyrus of Henutawi. You know, the papyrus where Geb is flipped over on his back, sucking his own penis. Jabari said he's not sucking it, he's just shooting sperm in his mouth, as if that makes the thought of it more scientific. A deity with a penis as long as a rope on his back, giving himself autofellatio. Not only is that on the papyrus of Henutawi, but as I said to you, Henutawi was an actual woman whom that papyrus is connected to. Now, what does this mean, Michael, as we're talking about cocaine? We're talking about the first ancient dope heads. We're talking about dope heads older than these white people. We're talking about dope heads older than these so-called Native Americans that they used to love that dope too and love a good smoke of tobacco, a big plug of tobacco and a good toot. Go ask the Aztecs. Go ask the Aztecs. Somebody said that in one of my previous uh, comment sections. But not only did the white folk and the Aztecs love a good plug of tobacco and a good big old line of good that fish scale cocaine. Not only did the Aztecs and the white folk like it, and not only are the white folk not the progenitors of cocaine, nor are they the progenitors of tobacco use. The white folk nor the Indians, the Native Americans. But the oldest culture where we find cocaine just sprinkled everywhere, cocaine and nicotine sprinkled everywhere, is in the culture in which Mrs. Hinutawi lived and died. When you watch the documentary that I posted on this, Cocaine and Nicotine Mummies, you will indeed see that not just Mrs. Hinutawi, but damn near all of the ruling Naisuts of Kemet, when you test their mummies, you'll find cocaine and nicotine. I'm going to say it one more time. Not only the dead beef jerky like body of Hinutawi will you find cocaine, but you will find cocaine sprinkled all over Kemet. You will find it in the bodies of the pharaohs. You will find it in the bodies of their servants. You will find it in the bodies of their children. You will find it in the bodies of their wives. The rulers of ancient Kemet, dope heads. But what does the dope head have to do with the papyrus of Hinutawi and Geb sucking his own penis on a papyrus? As we said, Hinutawi was a person that after they tested the body is full of cocaine and nicotine. But Hinutawi didn't draw that papyrus. Other people that were in a psychosis, a drug-induced psychosis, obviously drew that sick papyrus. Now here's the rub, ladies and gentlemen. I've been telling y'all that it takes a sick mind, a depraved mind, to draw a male deity sucking his own dick and call that science, call it holy, and to draw that concerning someone's death and passing into the afterlife. There was a common theme that we're pointing out here of drug abuse and high debauchery in ancient Kemet. What type of mind says that science is shooting sperm in your own mouth? That's high science, Brother Sarnetta, shooting sperm in your mouth on the papyrus of Hinutawi. Then we look at that and we say, what kind of person would do this? This doesn't even have anything to do with humanity. How can you relate with Geb shooting sperm in his mouth in any way? How can you relate as a human, an upright human, with autofellatio? And we ask the question, who drew this? Now we can definitely understand what type of mind would draw a deity sucking his own penis. What kind of mind? A dope head mind. Uh-huh. That white girl. That's who Becky is, y'all. Did y'all know that? Did it make sense to y'all? Yeah, they damn sure call that bullshit science. A dope head, a dope head priesthood, addicted to that Becky, drawing, and not only drawing male deities sucking their own penis, but writing it in the books, because not only Geb is doing that, but Osiris is doing that in the Papyrus of Ani. So on Hinutawi, Lady Hinutawi's papyrus, there's autofellatio. Go to Ani's papyrus. Here Osiris is, the soul of Re, copulating with himself. He's doing it in another papyrus. What kind of mind draws that and writes that in the cosmologies and call that science? I say a dope head, an ancient dope head, an ancient clucker, tweaker priesthood. Y'all know what a clucker is? Some of y'all might not have grew up in the 80s and 90s when crack really came out. But a clucker is a crackhead, a rockhead, a dope head, a dope fiend. hmm And if they had cocaine and nicotine in Kemet way before the white man and the Native American, hell, all it takes is a little heat and a little baking soda to make, to free it from its base. Come on, they had people good in alchemy in Kemet. Y'all think the recipe for crack came from the FBI? I think the recipe for crack actually came from ancient Kemet. They were the first fooling around with cocaine. They were among the first cultures recorded in history fooling around with cocaine so much that it's still in the bodies of the mummies today. Ancient cluckers, Brother James. They were so smart in Kemet that they were supposed to have some of the best alchemists in Kemet, the best magicians or sorcerers. And let me remind you, in the Greek, the word sorcery is pharmakia. Pharmakia. That's your pharmacy. Sorcery. Y'all think it's just medicine. No, it's a spell on you. And I'm telling you, the ancient Kemites were under a spell. No, they don't teach this in school. That's right, Miss Beverly. They don't teach this in school. You won't get this in your curriculum of Near East studies and anything else. In Egyptology, you won't hear this. The first cluckers were the ancient Kemites. Way before the white man had his cocaine, way before the Native Americans smoking their peace pipes and smoking their tobacco and smoking their bud, the ancient Kemites were doing it big. And y'all tell me, how is it that now cocaine in your system is so deep that it lasts for over 3,000 years? Y'all, don't you know, if you take, and I really think so, because the king of Bavaria, that's who bought the sarcophagus and the contents of the sarcophagus of Hinutawi. Yeah, an old white man. I guarantee you that if you was to take a piece of that mummy, cut a piece of it, just tear it off like beef jerky, and chew that, if you was that sick, like some of these, cannibalistic white people, if you were to eat a piece of that body, I bet you get high off of this ancient clucker, ancient Kemetic rockheads. But the king of Bavaria, I believe it is whom robbed the tomb of Hinutawi. Thank him for showing us the dope heads in Kemet and the wicked minds, the psychosis of a mind that will be there lit up on cocaine, probably in the dark somewhere with a candle, snorting that good fish scale back there in Kemet and smoking on a big old plug of tobacco and writing in Hinutawi's death papyrus and drawing on her death papyrus a god named Geb sucking his own dick. That's only the thoughts of a dopehead. The Kemet priesthood were ancient dopeheads, ancient perverts, ancient faggots. That's only the thought of a dopehead. Only a rockhead, an ancient rockhead, would think of, okay, let's draw, put to papyrus, to paper and pen, the idea of regeneration, self-regeneration, that deities have that ability to produce within themselves. So the way we're going to teach that is we're going to draw him sucking his own dick and squirting cum in his own mouth. This is the mind of a dopehead. Because the mind of a sane, non-drugged out individual would have chosen to use the language called the Meduneter and write down equations, phrases, teaching about regeneration. But no, the sickos, the sick dope heads in Kemet, they had to literally draw, or they thought they had to literally draw Geb on his back, sucking his own penis, for you to understand regeneration. And when I tell these guys that's really stupid because y'all had a language, what kind of mind would draw that? They tell me, Mike, you don't understand. But let me explain to you what I do understand. The mind of a dope fiend. Why do I understand the mind of a dope fiend? Because I was born in Detroit. I grew up in Southeast Louisiana. And I'm in California now. All three spots full of dope fiends. I know the mind of a clucker. Only a clucker would think that me drawing a picture of a man sucking his own dick would be better than me writing a story with equations and science equations and numbers, measurement, philosophy. Only a dopehead would forget that I can actually write this down and sit there and draw that. Now, again, let's make sure that you understand the connections. Hinutawi is a woman from ancient Kemet. In her body is found nicotine and cocaine. She died, and the Kemet priesthood drew her the same thing and wrote her the same thing as they did for Ani. They drew pictures, they wrote writings. One of the pictures is called the Papyrus of Hinutawi. On the papyrus is a man or a deity sucking his dick or squirting sperm in his own mouth. I say to you, what is the correlation? The correlation is drug abuse, coke abuse, ancient Kemites being dopehead weirdos, sexed out, debaucherous weirdos, writing these kinds of things and actually living that way. I said you can check her body and you'll find cocaine and nicotine. Now, also, let me point out this, and this is another killer. This is sick with it right here. Now we know that the ancient Kemites wore wigs because they still wear wigs. I said we know that the ancient Kemites used to wear wigs because they still wear wigs. Shaka Amos put weave in his hair to get a Heru lock. King Ra Sumaba wears wigs. I mean, he got some of the best wigs. But neither Shaka or King Ra Sumaba have ever been seen with the texture of hair that we see in Ramses, even Ramses II. He's the best example. Ramses II. The texture of hair that we find in his coffin, even Hinutawi and most of the other Kemites. I want you to please tell me that those are wigs. Because if those aren't wigs, those aren't black people. The hair is as straight as one of the Kardashians. Straight hair, not African hair. Y'all don't believe me? Google it right now. Ramses II, Ramses II. Look at his mummy. And please don't overlook his hair. Don't get caught up in the fact that he was a dope head. Look at his hair. Now, if you tell me that's a wig, that's fine. But I'm going to ask you, why is it that those black people had the same sickness that you niggas got today? You don't think kinky hair is beautiful? Is that why Narmer beat the hell out of Ethiopians? But if you tell me that's a wig, I want to also ask you this question. Why didn't the ancient Kemites like kinky hair, especially the Nisutes? Because they all have straight hair in their sarcophaguses. Did they have the world's first hair crack? No, they had that nose candy, that white girl, that Becky. But did they have the world's first hair crack also? Were they perming their hair in ancient Kemet? Or were they wearing wigs? Or were they wearing wigs because they just thought that the European and the white people that had become barbarians at that time, that they had better texture hair and they wanted to be white? Or were the ancient Egyptians actually white people and they're only black in their coffins? Ugh. Or is it just that they were, they like perm, a good conch every now and then. They was using conch in ancient Kemet. Malcolm, you hear that? They were conching their hair too, just like you did in prison. Putting that conch on their hair. James said they had that Korean connect. He said it must have been where they getting their weave from. Brazil, next to the Coke in Colombia. Damn. And that's another question. Cause there are no coca plants like that in ancient Kemet, as we know. Now there could be some, I don't know. But normally cocaine, the root of it is not made in North Africa. Were these people sending way off to Colombia and out here to the Yucatan Peninsula, buying kilos of that white girl, buying Becky? Were the ancient Kemites not only the first cluckers, but the first dope runners? Hmm? When you study the depth of ancient Kemet, it gets more crazy. The more deep you go, the more maddening and sick with it gets. How many of y'all would have ever thought Michael actually found the reason why Geb is sucking his penis on the papyrus of Hinutawi? The answer is easy, because the author of that, the painter of that, was stoned out of his mind on that shit. And he probably was sucking his own dick while drawing that kind of shit. Because let's say it again, what kind of man thinks about that kind of trash unless you're doing it and or you have the mind of a clucker? Hmm? Brother Jabari. Jabari said actual humans can't get in that position. The white man will tell you that's a lie. The white man will tell you, no, it's an actual sexual deed. It's called autofellatio. It's copulating with yourself, sucking your own weenie. And you got to be off that good fish scale cocaine to even attempt that. Would that even feel good? I don't know. I don't have the kind of clucker mind to think about what that would feel like. I don't even want to know, because I don't want to know what a dick tastes like in any way. Excuse me, ladies. I know y'all like, wait a minute. We do, but we don't. Only Jabari, Shaka, Rasumaba, Sanetta, and Geb and Osiris want to know what their own dick or any dick tastes like. And I told y'all, don't bring the kids in here. Don't let the kids listen to this. But what kind of sick motherfucking man that's not a clucker and a dope head and not a faggot thinks about sucking your own dick and even shooting sperm in your own mouth? Jabari, you nasty bastard. You depraved invert. You are the product of Sigmund Freud's teachings. Hmm. You have an oral fixation and an extreme Oedipus complex. Sexually deviant on the inside. That's called invert, not introvert. Invert. Read the basic writings of Sigmund Freud. To know the depravity of the white man, you have to study him. And we're noticing all of these crazy anomalies in Kemet. Like they laying up in the coffins with white people hair on their head. They doing sex acts that only white people and cluckers do. Excuse me, all my white brothers and sisters out here. But y'all got something to deal with, just like Kemet. It's your people that brought that. Y'all's probably was the ones selling the ancient Kemites the coke and teaching them how to suck their own penis and showing them how to perm their hair. Poor Hinutawi. Oh, goodness. Now, let me say this in closing. Just say no to drugs. And also say no to chematology, Egyptology. Say no. Because if you don't know, you will never know. Why? Because Jabari ain't going to tell you that they were ancient cluckers 3,000 years ago, they're not going to tell you that, yes, we've been smoking cigarettes and had the formula for crack for 3,000 years. They're not going to tell you that the CIA actually found the, the what you call it, the recipe for crack in Kemet, because they were the first to be using crack on a major scale. Powdered crack, powdered cocaine. Yes, I believe Kemet made the actual formula for crack, freebase. Mm-hmm. Put a little baking soda on it, put some heat and some water, and free it from its base. And when you hit that, you will act definitely like Ramses. You would go throw on a wig of a white man. You would jump in the corner and suck your own dick. Huh? You'll rape your own daughter, which is another commonplace thing that happened in Kemet. Having sex with your kids because you don't want to go out and marry or have your children marry the common people. So you say, well, it's cheaper to keep her, my own daughter. And you jump down in your own daughter. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now, family. It all makes perfect sense when you're dealing with a culture and a nation of cluckers. Anything can happen. Anything. Now, in closing, I'm going to say this as a message to my brother Sonetta. You didn't know this. You didn't know nothing. You didn't know this. Just like all of the things that I tell you that are verifiable and actually can be proved with just a little bit of effort. You didn't know this either. You didn't have no clue there was dope heads in Kemet. You didn't know. Because if you did know, you wouldn't be propagating that. Because I saw you on your show the other day saying that your kids and family have never seen you do drugs, have never seen you drink alcohol. But you propagate a culture that does. Something's fucked up about that message. We getting mixed signals from you, brother Sinetta. Huh? You say you ain't a homosexual, but you protect a culture who clearly propagated homosexuals. He live now. I knew it. Every time I'm banging him on it, banging him, pause. Every time I'm banging his skull against the ground, he go live. Yesterday he went live with a woman, speaking about, you know, her thing, and then sending me text messages, cussing me out and stuff. Like he did this morning, cussing me out. And then lying on other Israelites. I'm gonna tell y'all what he say, because this nigga's crazy enough to actually say it in public. So I say it for you. Sonetta says there's a lot of Israelites that he talked to that disagree with my Hebrew scholarship, like me correcting Zion over the word Nacham. He said they disagree with that. I said to Brother Sonetta, I don't know who you think you're talking to. You must think I'm red pill or blue pill or KT or somebody. You must think I'm Ali Muhammad. You must think I'm polite. But nigger, I know what I know. And what I teach and what I speak is always verifiable. That means you can take any study resource and you can go in it and find the word Nacham is pronounced with a chet, not a kaf. And the definition of that word meaning to ease yourself, to comfort yourself, not, not, not to change your mind. You see that? And we can go through all of the other Hebrew corrections that I made for brothers that don't have no sense and full of pride to come out and speak so openly and misunderstand what they say. I told Brother Sonetta, why don't you get one of them nut ass haters? Because that's all it is, if there is one. Why don't you get them to come out and read in Hebrew for us and debunk me? If not, they'll just be private Negroes to you, making you publicly make a fucking fool of yourself. Excuse my language. But that's the truth. Where's Zion's rebuttal? If I wasn't right when I corrected him, where's his rebuttal? Showing me that I'm wrong. If I had the wrong spirit correcting him, where's his rebuttal? Telling me that, Michael, you did it wrong. Hmm? Where's Ron Divine's rebuttal for me telling him, nigga, don't you never say that you're a man of God, but you don't know an answer to a priestly question? Where's the rebuttal from these nut ass niggas out here that hate me? Not the real Hebrews that actually honor me. Where's the rebuttals? I think you playing yourself with the most foolish of the foolish Israelites on the phone, and they're playing you because they want to continue seeing you make a damn fool of yourself, coming out speaking gibberish in a scholarship debate about the Bible. And you're talking about, well, I don't care. I don't care what Hashakala Kabakaka Shala mean. We talking about the Bible, nigga. You making a fool of yourself. You sound worse than Israel Doctrine. He want to talk Bible too, but don't want to use a study resource. Huh? He want to talk Bible too, but don't want to use Strong's. He want to talk Bible too, but can't read. And you're on the same level with him, Brother Sa. Plus you believing in all of this foolishness. Hoppy, the gay god in Kemet. This dude has one female titty. Shit. Excuse my language. You got gods over here sucking their dicks. You got deities on cocaine. I mean, not deities, but regular people and Kemite kings lit up on cocaine, and your priesthood on that dope. All of the homosexuality. Y'all got a walking snake in your book. And you grown as hell, and you still believing in that. You worshiping that and don't even know what that means. Didn't even know Hoppy was gay. Didn't know Hoppy had a titty. Man, let me get off of this. But yeah, family, who would have thought it? Ancient Kemet and Becky